This current administration is doing nothing but walking into gun stores, mom and pop gun stores, going after the simple little small minor paperwork errors that people are making and trying to shut those gun stores down permanently who've been in existence for decades. And what we're doing is by bringing this lawsuit, we're saying, you know what, you need to stop that. What Congress says this is what you're supposed to do. There are a set of laws there and they should follow those laws, not step outside those boundaries. And so we're trying to put them back in those boundaries and say this is enough. It's impossible for anyone to do what we do and not make any mistakes at all. You get people that walk into the gun store to fill out a 4473, which is the firearms transaction record. There's 100 ways a person can mess up this form, if not more than that. There are 100 different inputs that you actually put on the form. Even customers make mistakes when it comes to their name, their middle name or their first name. They reverse it. On that little box that says county, they put country. That does not mean that that person is going to get handed a firearm and they're not supposed to. They're not a prohibited person. And so their license should not get revoked just for that simple little minor mistake. I'm actually getting phone calls from gun stores all around the country, as far as like Oregon, as close as Houston. You're talking mom and pop gun stores. Grandparents, great-grandparents have owned this store, and all of a sudden now, ATF comes in and inspect them, find a little paperwork error. Maybe they've made the same type of error because they didn't catch it themselves, and they're wanting to shut them down. And this is the only way that I can help them is by filing a lawsuit, kind of being on the offensive instead of the defensive. I think we're assisting all the gun stores in the country in getting the ATF back into the box it need to be put back into. I'm so grateful that I was able to sit down and talk with TPPF. This organization is the one organization that I thought would actually stand up for Texans and stand up for all Americans in the United States and fight the federal government when they're overstepping their bounds.
Your business is going to have technical problems. There's no question about it. Pacific Office Automation is your guide because problem solving is our passion. Every business is unique, no matter how big or how small the problem. From copiers and printers, telephone systems, managed IT, print services, and more, we offer integrated, streamlined office solutions to keep your office humming. With Pacific Office Automation, it's problem solved. Visit pacificoffice.com today to find out more.
Whether it's a typical traffic stop or you're just involved in a use of force incident, encounters with law enforcement can be scary and stressful. In the heat of the moment, you may inadvertently say something you don't mean or make an inconsistent statement. These are red flags for officers, and if they think you're lying or your story doesn't add up, they might arrest you and let the criminal justice system decide your fate. Police officers are trained to get information from you without making the interaction seem like a formal interrogation. But remember, from the moment an officer arrives on scene, everything you say and everything you do will be scrutinized in court. The prosecuting attorney will attempt to use anything and everything against you. So what do you say? You say, "I invoke my right to remain silent," and then let your attorney interact with law enforcement on your behalf. One important note though, do not throw common sense out the window. For example, if the intruder's hiding somewhere in your house when the police arrive, or if you saw the perpetrator pitch his weapon into your backyard, quickly tell the police and then stop talking. You might ask, what about my rights? What if the police never read me my Miranda rights? Miranda rights is the common name for a collection of rights contained in the Miranda warnings, given to suspects when they're placed under arrest. The warning comes from a 1966 Supreme Court case, Miranda v. Arizona. In that case, the court held that statements from a custodial interrogation would not be admissible unless proper procedural safeguards were in place to protect the defendant's Fifth Amendment rights. We've all seen these warnings on TV and movies. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to have an attorney. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law, and so on. So do police have to read you your rights? No. It's important to note that officers are not required to read you these rights unless you're in custody and subjected to interrogation. If the police show up to a crime scene and start asking you general questions and you voluntarily tell them everything that happened, those statements can be used against you regardless of the Miranda warnings, because you're not in custody. If you're put in handcuffs, but you say something incriminating on your own without being questioned, those statements can and will be used against you because you're not being interrogated. You're just starting to spout off. This is why it's imperative that you know your rights, and you shouldn't rely on the police to read them to you. Affirmatively invoke your rights. Say, I'm invoking my right to remain silent, and my right to my attorney. Once you do that, the police legally shouldn't continue questioning you without your attorney present. But remember, there's a second part to this equation. After invoking your rights, you must exercise those rights. That means you have to keep your mouth closed. Protect yourself. Don't let the legal system take advantage of you after an incident. And Law Shield members, if you've been involved in a self-defense incident, remember to call the emergency hotline and speak with your independent program attorney.
I'm a U.S. Army veteran with a strong sense of duty and respect for our system of government. After 12 years, I was honorably discharged and decided I would fulfill the American dream of entrepreneurship and open up a gun shop in Austin, Texas. At my shop, I teach people to be law-abiding and how to safely use their firearm. On page 46, going to talk about Penal Code Section 46.02. The day that ban went into effect, I went into my local ATF in Austin and turned over my bump stock because I'm a law-abiding citizen. But I wasn't going down without a legal fight. So that's why I reached out to NCLA.
NCLA is representing Michael Cargill because federal agencies do not have the power to rewrite statutes. Bump stocks are not machine guns. If Congress wants to change the law and ban bump stocks, it certainly can do so. But we can't have the executive branch rewriting a statute and putting people in jail for up to 10 years.
It's a problem because, this government agency has said, you know what, something that is legal is now illegal, and we're going to confiscate it from you, and we're not going to compensate you for it, and you're going to become a criminal.
The goal of our case here is to tell the ATF that they can't get away with this kind of administrative lawmaking. This isn't constitutionally permissible, and this goes against everything that our nation was founded on.
The bump stock ban turned innocent law-abiding citizens into criminals overnight, even though they were compliant with the statute. And that's not right.
This case is not about where you stand on bump stocks. It's about the rule of law. It's about whether an agency can rewrite a statute and turn a law-abiding citizen into a criminal. If the ATF can ban bump stocks, any agency can ban anything.
Austin, Texas, live music capital of the world. Let's praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. All right, so today we are covering news, firearm news, and police news with none other than Texas-born comedian and podcaster Uncle Lazer.
Yeah, thanks for having me, my guy.
What's up, Uncle Lazer? How you doing, sir?
Man, I'm living right by the Lord.
Man, nothing like praise the Lord and pass the ammunition.
Nice little Sunday.
All right, so I want to talk about, Tesla. You hear about Tesla this week?
No, there was a big shooting or something like that.
Yeah, well, it was a false alarm, so they say. So apparently someone heard shots. It allegedly, it was a security officer who heard shots, called 911, reported it, and they're saying, it was a false alarm. Nothing happened. But you know what? I call bullshit. Because the reason is because they have the most sophisticated security system, camera system, at this facility. They also say that the Travis County Sheriff's Department showed up and they cleared this facility in 2 hours. 2 hours? Have you been to the Tesla facility?
It's gigantic.
It's huge. Yeah. There's no way you're going to clear that facility in 2 hours and say there was no shooting there. Impossible. So their system, their camera system is so sophisticated. They can actually identify every person that, that's in that facility, every vehicle that's at that facility. They know exactly what happened. As a matter of fact, I've inside, according to and some inside there, according to some of the employees, they were getting emails that were saying, hey, right now, the shooter is at this point in the building. And then updates. Right now, the shooter's over here. So for them to come back later on and say, hey, it was a false alarm, I think they're covering up something.
Yeah, so one of my roommates works there, and he said he heard the gunshots. So.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't want to say his name, but I mean.
Right, exactly. That's
yeah, I won't say his name, but yeah, he told me yesterday.
Yeah, and I can't out my sources or anything like that, but I totally call bullshit. Something happened, and they're definitely covering up. And the funny part is the security officers that work at Tesla are unarmed.
Really? Oh, shit.
Yeah, they don't have guns. So you're at a facility, a huge facility that's a no-gun facility, and your security officers, the one that's supposed to protect you, don't have guns.
Yeah, they might as well just be meter maids.
Yes.
I mean, goddamn, what are they doing over there?
Like fish shooting in a barrel,
That's
telling you
it,
right
man.
now. So, yeah. So, I'm wondering, how if I was a Tesla employee, man, I would be afraid right now. Yeah. I would feel really concerned, Why
do you think they would cover it up like that? Stock price or what do you think it is?
I don't think they want that type of press. They're trying to do some other things. They want to focus on whatever project they're coming out with.
Sure.
And so they don't want people to know that, hey, something happened, and they don't want to think of it negatively like that.
I get it, but look, any press is good press, right? My mom always told me that. People hate me, and it's the best shit in the world. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hell, dude.
Who hates you, dude?
Dude, stop. Just stop.
Oh man, and let's go to Albuquerque. I thought at first it was Chief Otto Acevedo that was in Albuquerque, New Mexico, but I was wrong. He's actually in Aurora, Colorado. He's a police chief there. So in Albuquerque, New Mexico, we have this crazy little incident that actually took place in Albuquerque, and you guys got to take a look at this. I don't know if you can see this, but take a look at this sucker right here.
Got the graphic content warning.
Oh yeah. So following video contains some graphics. So apparently police are trying to, is
this Adam McDaniels?
Well, there's a homeless guy. Some guy actually gave this homeless guy a ride, and then he goes to stab the guy.
Drop the knife or you're going to get shot. You're going to get shot. Stop. You're going to get shot. Stop it. Stop.
All right, so what you just witnessed is the guy runs to a bus stop.
Yeah.
Okay, he was actually in all black right here.
Yeah.
He runs to a bus stop, and there are innocent people that are sitting at the bus stop waiting for a bus to come. The Albuquerque police officers shoot all the innocent people first.
What? Yeah, so that dude in the blue wasn't even a...
No, that dude...
Now, look. I don't want to rehash a conversation we had last time with Peter, but I've said this before and I'll say it again. There are 2 female cops that are doing the shooting there, and you say that women are a better shot because they listen. Yeah, they're better at shooting the wrong fucking people.
Jesus Christ.
Maybe.
No
what did you notice about? You got no comment now.
No comment.
All right. Well,
all right.
I guess that's what
let's see.
No contest.
Let's see what the video has to say.
Okay.
Fucking knife.
To me, it looks like she's aiming at the guy in blue, not the guy in black.
So that was a complete just bystander at the damn. Did they know? Did they know that other person wasn't involved?
Yeah, they were sitting there.
They didn't try to move to an angle where they weren't gonna.
Yeah, crazy.
Women.
Tax dollars hard at work.
Yeah, seriously.
Shots fired.
Is that the other angle?
Yeah, the body.
Her point of view.
Oh my God, dude.
And all I can think of right now is like I'm sitting at the bus stop and going, hey, don't save me, don't help me. Just let me just get through this. Do me a favor and don't come save me, please. I'll just get through this all by myself.
Yeah. Who shoots into a crowded area like that? Have you ever seen a cop do that before?
Untrained.
Untrained?
Drop it! Hey, behind the vehicle for cover! Hey, drop the knife! Drop the knife! Drop the knife!
I mean, at what point do you put the knife down?
I mean, we get it, Mike.
I mean, is that like his granddaddy's knife? He don't want to let it go?
I don't know.
Man.
Well, he knows that the minute he drops his knife, he has no leverage anymore, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he at least live.
He might be looking at like life in prison or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And by the way, this happened on June 29th around 9:23 p.m. Albuquerque police responded to a 911 call, a stabbing at a McDonald's off of Lomas in San Pedro. Officers found that a man who had been stabbed multiple times in the neck and face while in the drive-through lane. So
they're chasing an armed attempted murderer.
He picked up a homeless guy.
He picked up a homeless guy, and the homeless guy stabs him and then jumps out the car. Police go to chase this guy, and this happened when the police actually hit. They shoot the innocent people first before shooting the bad guy.
Damn, dude. That's a lot of damage.
What about that video of there's a video of a cop tasing a guy on the highway.
Oh, that's a bad
And then he gets run over by a car going like 70 miles an hour. And
Really?
This one's gnarly. And I don't know, what was the guy being charged with, Mike?
Oh, man, I don't even know. God, where is that?
Make sure you're talking to that mic.
72 and a 65.
Do you have it? We have that link there?
Yeah, it's in the doc. All right, while you look for that, look, I'm gonna do a proper intro for our guest here. All right, so Uncle Lazer, comedian, Instagram,
sex icons, everything under the sun.
Hey, you know what? Do your own intro.
No, I'm kidding.
No, really, no. I want you to do it.
You're doing a great job, dude.
Personal friend of mine. Sometimes we do a podcast together too, called the Drunk Uncle Podcast. But look, we wanted to bring you in today because you're a Texas native and you have a lot of experience with guns, and maybe not from like a technical background. You might have learned how to shoot guns, and your experience with guns comes from like a more natural background.
I shot competitively too. I shot competitive handguns.
Did you take training though?
I've taken a couple courses. My buddy Austin Black, he's a CHL instructor and shit like that.
Wait, don't we know that guy?
Yeah, we know Austin.
Yeah, Austin Black, good homie. He used to live across the street from Alex. We became like real good friends. I've gone out to the quarry and shot with him like fucking 20, 30 times.
Right.
We would do like the course shit where you're like going around.
So you have done some of that stuff.
Yeah,
okay,
dude.
I didn't know.
Listen, extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire.
Me, baby. I keep them guessing.
So when's the first time you shot a gun?
Well, my dad got me one of them Red Rider BB guns or whatever the shit they're called.
You'll shoot your eye out.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what they said. But he's just like, shoot them birds, shoot the goddamn pigeons off the roof because they're just shitting on the house. You know what I'm saying? So that, and then I got my first 410, take me dove. I was probably 6 or 7.
6, 7 when you first shot a gun?
Yeah, that's probably the first time I went dove hunting and shot 410.
Have you ever been hunting and got shot at? That happened to me. That's why I ask.
No, I can't say no.
Dude, I was in a fucking tree line.
Yeah.
That was perpendicular to another tree line, right? There's a guy here, and we're here. And deer ran between us.
Oh shit, he Dick Cheney'd you.
Pretty much, actually. And the branches, probably 5-6 feet above my head, was where all the shotgun spray was going. I hit the deck, and then my uncle was like, "Just stay there." Deer comes by, my uncle shoots the deer, like with the shotgun.
Y'all are shooting like slug, like y'all.
Yeah,
close.
yeah.
That's in Ohio, huh?
Indiana.
Dude, the deer out there are fucking gigantic. When I worked up there, like the fucking base of their horns is big as Coke cans. I'd never seen no shit like that in my life.
Yeah, they're fucking huge. Yeah. Well, there's a ton of them too.
And they eat like they free range and like eat apples and shit like that and get a lot of protein and stuff like that, right? I think that's why they're so big.
I don't know that much about it.
Okay, dude. Did you even go hunting, dude?
I just made this story up off the top of my head.
When I was like 11, I was shooting a 22 at the pond, like just shooting stuff. And it ricocheted up and hit a cow in the head and killed it.
What?
We got kicked off the fucking deer lease that year too.
What?
My dad was pissed. Yeah, the bullet ricocheted off the water of the surface, and the cow was like standing for like medium. Well, I was a little further than you. Ricocheted up, hit it right in the.
Oh, was that
right in the temple? Bow, dropped.
That's insane. Did you find that video, Mike? Yeah. Okay, bet. Check this one out. This is insane.
So this guy gets tased and then hit.
Dude, it's pretty gnarly.
You'll double crank.
He is strategically tased right in front of the path of an incoming
Only bad thing about this,
car
I
on the
can't
highway.
widen the screen out a little bit. So
Stop here, you tank! Stop!
So what happened was the police go to pull this guy over, right? He jumps, they start questioning him. He jumps out gets out the car. They question him. He takes off running. He runs across the highway, hops the median, and oncoming traffic. The cop tases him, drops him to the ground. He drops. He's tasing him, and then oncoming traffic's coming, runs him over.
And the cop blocks the other lane for the guy to
get
maybe
over.
swerve out
To
of the
get
way.
over. Wow.
So he had no choice but to hit the guy laying on the ground.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not
What
gonna
do
run
you-
off. I hit a cat once.
hey,
I didn't run off the road.
But hey, my thing about that is, hey, you shouldn't have run.
Yeah, look
That
both
sounds
ways.
like unnecessary roughness call to me, you know?
Hey, I'm good with it. He shouldn't have run.
What?
I'm good with it.
That's your take on
I mean,
this.
did
That's
Was
my
it a
take.
white guy or a black guy?
I don't know. I'm good with it.
Because if it's
I
a
don't
black
care.
guy, you might be saying
I don't know
something
his
different.
color. I don't know his race. I'm just saying I'm good with it.
But you don't think the car could have seen that far ahead, like something was going on? I mean, I guess there ain't no street lights on the fucking
You
road.
shouldn't
so-
run.
Hey, do you think maybe that person was like, hey, finally, it's my chance?
As he's looking down from Jesus right now.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. If the dude's getting tased and the car swerves into the other lane and runs over the cop's not supposed to be on the highway.
What's going to happen in that situation is the bad guy is going to get charged with the cop's death.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
because if you commit
100%.
a felony, what's the rule about felonies? If somebody dies while you're committing a felony, you're charged with that person's death, right?
They would have done it anyway if it was a misdemeanor. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, without a doubt.
Well, that'd be felony evading, though, isn't it? Running from the cops or
Probably.
resisting arrest.
Probably. Yeah, crazy. Man, that's a crazy video there.
Yeah, I
I
feel
feel sorry for the person that was in the car. You're driving along, you're on your way home or something like that. We're just finished working, 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, and you're just like, oh, I just need to go home. I need to hit my bed, and all of a sudden, he just killed someone.
My question is, does insurance cover that? Because, I mean, I've hit an animal before, and it's messed my shit. I can only imagine hitting a human. Does insurance cover that?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I'm deferring to the police department of the city.
Yeah, for sure. They should.
I'm suing the city. I'm in emotional distress. I hit the guy, run him over. I'm suing the city.
Like that.
Yeah.
Hey, that won't be the first people that you've sued either. What happened with that dog bite thing?
Hey, they've stopped harassing me.
Dude, check this out. The police told him that they were going to charge him with
City of Austin. City of
Austin, so they were going to charge him with a misdemeanor
with obstruction
of obstruction because he didn't want to call the police on these people whose dog bit his hand.
A dog bit me, and I didn't want to fill out a report, so they said they're going to charge me with obstruction.
What?
In Austin.
Yeah.
We have homeless problem. We have people stealing cars. We have a lot of crime. How about you focus on that? How about you focus your resources on answering the 911 call?
Yeah, we had.
But if I don't want to fill out a report, I don't want to fill out a report.
Dude, he literally had somebody OD at his show last night.
Well, no, the boy was just drunk. Now, don't say that. He was just drunk. He had too many Budweisers.
Well, they had to take him out and
Oh, yeah,
lay him on the sidewalk because the cops were nowhere to be found.
He's a buffoon.
It is what it
Probably
is.
drinking Bud Light.
Just drag him into the alley and let him go.
Yeah, let him go. Yeah, just let him go.
Dude, he had a story. Laser's got I don't know if you can even tell this story. I can just edit this out.
tell
But
it.
story about how you were with that girl and her ex was following you around on the road with a gun.
Yeah, that was.
What do you do? What do we do in this situation?
All right, go
Can
ahead.
you tell that
Tell me the story.
So, I just woke up and I was seeing this little nighttime ballerina there for a little while. And,
Little side piece.
Little side piece. And she's a great gal. She's got a master's in statistics, whatever. She's a nice gal.
You know how to measure things out.
Everything. But I went to lunch. I just woke up. Me and her just woke up, and I didn't grab my gun. I just was in my fucking gym shorts, and I went and met Bobby and them. Well, we went to her house after we lunch, and I guess her ex-boyfriend was like stalking her or whatever, so he starts chasing us. And I'm like, just pull over. I'll just get out and beat the shit out of him. But she's like, no, he's got guns on him all the time, blah, blah. So then I'm like, fuck. Like, I don't have my pistol on me. Then I'm kind of worried. I'm like, so I call my roommates, and they're all coming to hey, get outside. Like, get outside in the front yard with the shotgun and everything. So we kill him on kill him on my property. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a different story. Or at least that's what I'm thinking in my mind. How does that work?
I'll go ahead.
Okay, but like we're literally driving to my house. I'm like, yo, be ready because we're coming in hot. Like, it's about to go down. Luckily, right as prior to pulling in the neighborhood of 183, we saw a cop like just sitting in the median, and so she turned into him and told him, hey, this dude's chasing us, blah blah. And he like de-escalated, but the dude was like, yeah, it was weird.
So what the cop did?
He like told that dude to get on. He's like, there's legally nothing I can do because she didn't have a restraining order filed against him.
And the cop didn't witness him doing anything.
And he didn't. We just like, yo, he's been chasing us for like 5 miles now, like
Right.
in and out of neighborhoods and shit. So he like diffused the situation. He did like a great job, but he's like, there's legally nothing I can do because you don't have a restraining order.
Shit, I'm surprised he didn't say he'd arrest you for not filing a fucking report. So what does he do? What do you do in that
So a
situation?
situation like that, okay, you know, having people, you know, outside in the yard, you know, ready to go, you can't shoot someone for trespassing because at best he's committing trespassing by being on the property. So if he comes to your house, he's in your front yard or whatever, your backyard or whatever, he's trespassing. You can't shoot him for that. Not unless he's trying to kill you, not unless he's trying to break into the house, break into the car. He's got to be doing something else before you can shoot him.
So, but by definition, if he gets out of the car with a gun,
Okay.
is that just intent, or is there? I have like
Is the gun in his hand?
he gets out of the car with a gun
in his hand.
in his hand.
All right. So you think he's trying to kill you?
I mean, what else would he be doing? To show me? You know what I'm saying? I guess he
Trying to show you his gun.
Your Honor.
That's brandishing,
Your Honor.
right?
What was he trying to kill you?
But in the circumstances of him chasing her, and
Was
shit,
he
like,
trying to kill you?
I guess you can't say.
You got to be able to say because your life depends on it.
Yeah, but Mike,
Because the threshold is, was he trying to kill me? That's the threshold.
Well, it's
if
not
it's not
black
that,
and white,
then
you know?
you can't shoot him.
Mike,
Shit.
if he's brandishing a gun,
Okay.
You
Is
can't
that-
kill someone for brandishing a gun.
Was he trying to kill you?
What-
The law says, is it aggravated kidnapping? Is it murder, sexual assault, aggravated sexual assault, robbery, aggravated robbery? Where they're
Yeah.
attempting to enter or remove you unlawfully from your home,
I know, but
your vehicle,
but
your place of business.
Let me get my question out here. He's brandishing a gun
Okay.
after chasing you.
Okay.
Then he's trying to fucking kill you.
Well, you got to articulate that, because if you can't articulate that this guy is trying to kill me, then you're looking at defending yourself in court.
So, all right, then put this in context. So, like prior up leading to that, she had all these text messages from like if she sees anybody else or whatever, like he'll kill her or shit like that.
Yeah.
Then that would hold up in a court of law, correct?
As long as he act on it, he says that's terroristic threats, and then he produces a weapon, he shows up, then yeah, you got something to stand on.
Yeah, and that's kind of what they did to Daniel Perry, right?
Right.
They used his social media messages and his text messages,
his private messages,
private correspondence to
Right.
basically the guy that shot the protester 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
They used his private correspondence to prove that he had malicious intent towards protesters because of shit that he said, like, if I see one of those protesters, I'll fucking shoot him or whatever.
Yeah.
Which really, I don't even think is a very strong case because you could say some crazy shit joking around, especially like somebody in comedy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that guy was seriously threatening to kill her and chasing you. And then if he would have brandished a gun, I mean, I think that's pretty easy to, in my opinion, to prove that your life's in danger.
Well, whatever happens, you have to remember that afterwards, you're going to have a group of 12 people who are going to have all this evidence presented to them, and then they're going to decide. They're going to come to this conclusion. So,
Yeah.
whatever you do, you better be pretty sure that 12 other people would agree with you.
Moral of the story is I've been out of the Red Rose since. So there
Taking
we
a
go.
page out of my book, dude.
Page out of old Gary Faust's book.
You haven't been back, Gary?
Dude, I'm out of there, dude.
Really?
I'm
Wow.
He's sober now too.
I'm totally sober for a month now. Yeah, I went back one time. Because there was a girl who had always been like flirting with me and hitting on me and shit.
Oh yeah.
That one chick. I dated her for like a month and dumped her, but she was super hot, and I was like, she's like, hey, come in. I was like, cool. Popped in.
You've been sober for a month.
Yeah.
Why do you look worse now?
What do you mean?
Like, are you okay? You look great, dude. You look great. I'm sorry.
All right, so check this out. So you got this video out of Ohio where officer actually has been fired after a body cam footage showed him unleashing a canine dog on this guy. In the media, I hate the way they actually, say this, because the way they paint it is like Officer Ryan Speakman has been fired after a body cam footage showed him unleashing a canine police dog on a black man.
You know, I don't know why we got to bring color into it, but check this out. So
You know why we got to bring color into it.
yeah, well,
Mike, make sure you're talking into the microphone.
absolutely, yes, sir.
God damn.
Okay, and I can't pull the video up. I just lost it. Oh, there it is. See if we can get that one more time. There's an error on the page. It's not showing the video.
Why don't we just pod with Laser and we watch the videos another time?
That's fine. All right, so
Basically, they
but
unleash
this guy's been represented by Ben Crump.
Yeah, I know. That's why I put it in there, because we've been trying to get in touch with him, but he doesn't like talking to people unless they completely agree with his race baiting bullshit. So
Well, you know,
he'll never talk to me.
but he may be on some. He may be onto something with this one I hear, because the guy was actually complying, but he did run initially from the police.
Oh, then he deserved whatever he got, right, Mike?
He
looks
was in
like your words are coming back to bite you in the ass.
He was in an 18-wheeler. I believe this is the one that was. He was in an 18-wheeler, right?
Oh, so it's even worse,
Right.
He was running in an 18. That's even more
Right.
dangerous.
Well,
This
is
guy-
it-
we should have put 2 dogs on him, according to you,
Is
Michael.
it yes or no or whatever? Shut up.
18 dogs.
So anyway, they finally get this. They finally get this guy pulled over, and so he gets out of the vehicle. He puts his hands up, and then the canine officer releases the dog, and the dog attacks this guy while he was complying.
After he puts his hands up.
Yeah, he's got his hands up.
So-
he's complying, and they release the dog.
When I watched it, it kind of seemed like the officer with the dog didn't hear what anybody said.
He's just like, hey.
He was just like, yeah, get him, which is fucking crazy.
Which was kind of normal. It's like, it was the way it was done. It was like relaxed and kind of normal. It was actually kind of screwed up. So like,
Wait,
hey,
what?
It was like a normal thing. Like, this is like no big deal.
Wait, so-
this is what we always do.
So when a white dude's running across the freeway, we can tase him and he can get run over by a car.
I'm not bringing color into it. I'm just saying.
So what's different about this one then?
It was just a normal thing.
Why didn't they just tase him and let him get run over by a car then instead?
Both of those situations were wrong, I think. But hey, I'm good with it.
Wait,
You
what?
shouldn't run.
I thought you just said it was okay. You said it was okay that the first guy was.
Hey. Oh, the first guy?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, he shouldn't run.
So this guy,
He wasn't. He was not.
What is going on?
This guy was not complying. He was not the guy that was running across the highway. He didn't comply at all. He ran across the highway, hopped the median. He's running from the cop. The cop had to tase him and drop him to the ground. He gets run over.
This dude was running across the highway too.
This guy complied. This guy
No, he
stopped.
did. He ran
This
originally.
guy stopped. He put his hands up.
After he ran.
He
what?
complied to what they were doing.
They should have shot him.
He was following their instructions, and then they
should have
released
shot
the
him in
dog.
the head.
That's difference. What do you think?
Don't run. pretty fucking simple, boys. Don't fucking run.
Mike, you can't be a hypocrite like that, though.
I'm not a hypocrite. Those are two different situations there.
So if that one dude would have just stopped in the middle of the highway,
If the one dude would have stopped in the middle of the highway, put his hands up, say, okay, I give, and then the cop tases him, drops to the ground, he gets run over by the car, hey, that's on the cop.
but what if he was just about to turn around and say, "Stop"? Just kidding.
Nah, he wasn't about to do anything.
How do you know that?
He was in full mode.
I hope you are never ever on a jury when I'm on this.
I will convince them, convict this bitch right now. I'm telling you right now. Guilty! Not guilty.
You don't think that race is playing a role in this in your mind subconsciously?
In my mind,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Okay, you did the finger. Now I know you're
Absolutely
serious.
not. Yeah.
All right. If you say so, I trust you.
Because I don't even know the race of the guy that was running across the highway.
He was
I have
white,
no clue.
dude. He was white. Otherwise,
Was he? I don't even know.
Otherwise, it would be all over the news.
I don't even know. I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm just telling, I call it like I see it.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, I'm not. I could be wrong, but if that was a black dude that got run over by a car,
I don't know.
Michael, I didn't ask you if you know. I'm telling you, if that dude was black and a car ran him over, there would be riots. But if it's a white dude, nobody cares.
Wait, there were riots.
For the guy that got ran over?
No.
Is that over him?
No.
Yeah, there were no
That
riots.
happened a year or two ago, right?
What?
No, the highway tasing.
The highway
running
thing?
over. That was a year or 2 years old.
Was it? I'm not sure.
It's either 21 or 22. I saw.
Is it? Yeah, I'm not sure.
Hey, they'll run.
But you're the one that sent it. You don't know?
No, I don't know.
All right. Hey, don't run.
Just walk fast. Don't run.
Just walk. Hey, you know what, Michael? As long as they're running and your hands are up, that's all it is.
Oh, that's a conundrum.
Oh, never mind.
so-
February 2023.
All right, so Uncle Lazer, you know,
sir.
what's your thoughts on guns and concealed carry and open carry and all that stuff?
I love
and constitutional carry, being able to carry a gun without a license.
There we go.
I mean, I think as like just a human being in general, you should be allowed to do what you want, go as you please.
Freedom.
But at the same time, on the flip side of the coin, I mean, I know some people that I'm like, damn, I don't know why someone would procreate you. You probably shouldn't hold a gun.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there's measures you could take, you know, to kind of implement that.
What measures are those?
I mean, like, I guess like a better vetting system to background checks.
How do you vet somebody?
I mean, I know that's what I'm saying. I just feel like I don't know how you would go about doing that. I just feel like I don't think we should give every single person a weapon by any means. I mean, but it is your.
I think every person needs a weapon until they make a mistake.
Gotta wait till they make that mistake.
That's
then you
right.
Send them to Jesus.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah,
Wait for them to make a mistake and then
This
This is not the
minority.
minority. It's not the minority report. You know, we can't like anticipate what they're going to do. You got to let them make that mistake first.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
but then someone probably gets hurt, innocent bystander, off some shit just because giving someone. I mean, look, there's
that's life.
That's the price of freedom.
That's life. That's a price of freedom.
my daddy didn't die.
That's a
face
price of
down.
freedom. That's what I said. No, you disagree?
Mike, you're on one today,
Hey,
man.
that's the price of freedom.
Let everybody die.
No, everybody gets a gun. I think we should also have missiles. You should have grenades,
Tanks.
whatever you want. Tanks, everything.
God damn.
Absolutely. Until you mess up, you make a mistake, you take someone else's life, you take someone else's freedom away, then we take yours
What about a
away.
mentally disabled person?
All right, hold on, no. But Mike.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so if that's the case, give everybody a gun. Okay, I
Yes.
get behind that. But do you implement that as when they're a small child and give them the proper safety courses and training?
Up to 2 years old.
Right, like get them versed in
2
that.
years old.
When they come out the paint, straight out the paint.
I'll put it to you like this: I've been around guns my whole life, and gun safety was a big thing in our household. So I grew up like understanding how to use a gun, how it worked, when to
Right.
fight, shit like that. But I have buddies who just buy guns. They've never done anything wrong. They're not felon, but they didn't grow up around it. And I hate going to places with them where we shoot
Because they don't know what they're doing.
They don't know what they're doing. Just
Right.
like you were talking about earlier before
Right.
we got on air. Like it's just like I don't want to be around that because you just look like you're going to fuck up.
Right.
you know?
Do you take the time to say, hey, whoa, slow down there, Junior, and kind of educate them a little bit?
Yeah, no, it's usually women I take out to the gun range, and I'm like, hey, put the safety on, or hey, don't point that at me, it's loaded.
Women
shit
are
like that.
notoriously terrible with range safety
Well, that's-
protocols.
No, they're not.
Yes,
women,
they are.
Women actually listen when you take the time to
No, they
teach them.
don't.
They listen.
Michael,
they can
women are
multitask. Women can
Yeah,
multitask.
he says this and
they can
no-
listen to multiple conversations at the same
such a
time.
feminist.
Men do not listen.
Michael, you don't know anything about women. You're the least qualified person to talk about women. Number one. Number two, guy that was tased on the highway was 3 days ago, and it was a white guy, just like I said. This shit is so easily predictable. You can't play stupid and act like, well, I don't know, maybe it would, maybe it's not race, maybe it is race. You don't give a shit that the white dude got
He
tased on the
FA'd
highway and got run over,
he-
but the black
he-
guy that got bit by a fucking dog and didn't even die, you're upset about.
He FAFO. I'm not upset about neither one of them because they're not in my family. So long.
Okay, but
see
you know what
later.
I mean.
So FAFO. They messed around. They found both
You
of them.
can say
found
fuck
out.
around, find out. We're not on AM
Hey,
terrestrial
both
radio
of them
anymore.
found out. Okay, so the guy that ran across the interstate, hopped the median, running from the cop, got tased, run over by a car, FO'd.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Zero.
The guy who was running from the cop didn't stop, complied, should not have the dog stuck on him. But it doesn't matter. Here's why. In both cases, in the civil case, the family's going to win in both those cases. The guy that ran across the highway, jumped the median, got run over, got tased, got run over by a car. The family's going to sue the city. They're going to win money regardless because a certain percentage of that was the police officer's fault.
I would
certain
say
percentage.
I'd say 80% of that.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the number.
You
but
can't
there's a-
tase somebody
there-
on the highway.
there's a
what if he
number
got
in there.
pulled over for speeding? Think about how dumb that is.
Just like the cops who tased the guy who was at the motorcycle rider who was at the gas pumps, they tased him. He burst into flames because he was pumping gas, and they tased him. He had
Well, that's completely the police fault.
well, it doesn't matter. A certain percentage of that
Wait,
is
what do
someone
you-
else's
wait,
fault.
when you say
they're-
things like that-
so the police department is going to pay. The city is going to pay regardless.
What do you mean it doesn't matter if a person bursts into flames?
What I'm saying is the city is going to pay. They're going to whip out that checkbook and they're going to have to pay.
Yeah, but that doesn't replace a human life.
They're going to pay. What do you want me to do? They're
We
gone.
should go back to
If
shooting
you're gone,
people
you're gone.
instead of using the taser. Just shoot them.
Can't bring you back.
I got a question for you about the tasing incident. If the city's going to pay, so the guy gets pulled over, takes off running. What if he's running across that median, doesn't get tased, but still gets hit by a car? Is that still on the city? Because he's theoretically being chased by the police, and that's what caused him to be in the middle of the highway.
That's a good point.
I just wanted to flip that around and see if that is something.
Yeah, a certain percentage of that's going to be a police officer's fault. He's going to pay. The city's going to pay.
Really?
None of this makes any
whether
sense.
It's 10%, whether it's 5%, some percentage of that, it's all up to the jury.
Yeah,
the jury's gonna
I
decide.
understand what you're saying, but like, we're obviously not we're not the city. We're not making laws. We're opinionated people.
Very.
So you're telling us what is gonna happen, but that's what I'm talking about. Like
whether
it doesn't make sense.
Whether we like it or not, whether it makes sense or not, this is what happens in courts all around the country.
I know, but I'm asking you what you think should happen. That's what you believe should happen.
That's what's going to happen.
No, I'm asking you what you think should happen.
Doesn't matter what I think is going to happen. What I think is you shouldn't put yourself in that situation in the first place.
So you really believe that?
What I think is you shouldn't run from the cops. What I think you should do is let your attorney do the fighting for you in court. That's what I think.
Agree to disagree.
What do you think, Gary?
I don't think that I in no way think anybody with any sense of any sense whatsoever should ever tase anybody on a fucking highway. That puts the police officer in a dangerous position. That puts the person being tased in a dangerous position, and it puts the person driving the car on the highway in a dangerous position.
They put themselves.
It is 100% the police fault in that situation. 100%.
They put themselves in that position because they shouldn't have run in the first place, right?
I don't think people are going to agree with you on this one.
Shouldn't have run in the first place.
Yeah, it just breaks down to you should just complied.
You
know what I'm saying? I mean, like, that's kind of...
Yeah, he could have just waited until that guy got across the highway and then tased him. I mean, it's as simple as that.
I mean, unless that dude, like, murdered somebody or something. If he pulled him for speeding or a drug possession or something. Like,
yeah,
he runs across the median, I'm not going to go across that. Let's let him go.
Yeah,
We'll
exactly.
So
that's my point. So like, oh, dude, we pulled this guy over. He's got a warrant because he ran away from home. He's 17. He took his parents' car. Yeah, tase him. He deserves death. All of a sudden, the police are also the judge and the executioner, Michael. Like, that's so stupid.
FAFO, don't run.
That's like such a fucking like authoritarian.
Don't run.
Like kind of like almost a really liberal standpoint to take though. Like let the government just operate everything. We don't deserve any freedom. We shouldn't even be allowed to own guns at this point. He's illegally carrying a gun. Tase him. Let him get run over by a fucking 18-wheelers, and then his dead body, stick the dogs on him, dude. I just don't agree with that. That's a very like left-wing stance. It's very like communist.
I don't think so. You think it's left-wing?
It's very anti-freedom for sure, and I don't agree with that.
Okay.
At all. I don't think we should be killing people.
Then we agree to disagree.
Okay, but on the other flip side of that, though, we can agree to disagree, but if that guy's running, they get to that median, and that guy turns around with a gun and shoots that cop. The cop's going to try to neutralize the threat as quick as he can. It just so happened that there was a fucking car coming, and he stood in the other lane. The guy got hit. It's unfortunate, but all breaks down to just comply, right? But, I mean, I don't think there's a training situation where we're running across a fucking field into a median, an oncoming traffic. He's just neutralizing the threat as quickly as possible. He didn't shoot the guy. He tased him. He's just unfortunate. He fell wrong. Yeah?
Yeah, if that guy, look,
Gary, put that in your left-wing stance, guy.
Gary.
Hey,
no, I mean, but I agree.
If he was black, we would not be having this conversation. There'd be so much social.
I did not
there
know
would be
the
so
color
much
of this
social
guy.
pressure saying that it'd be racist to disagree with that stance that we wouldn't be sitting here saying that. Period.
I had no idea. I did not know the color of this guy.
Why did that one article say the black man was bitten by the dog, and that one didn't say the white man?
We know why.
Because that's my point.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying.
It's bullshit. And that's why, Michael, that it could be assumed that he was white. Subconsciously, your brain knew that because if a black guy got run over by a car, it'd say, black man tased on a highway, run over by a car.
All right, so you're admitting that racism exists then, huh?
What?
Racism exists.
In the media, yeah.
Oh, dude, we just found out a new thing.
All right, so.
Well, yeah.
All right, then.
The media always puts racial narratives. What are you talking about?
It is what it is.
You just mad because I made a good point.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, well,
I stand by what
I agree to disagree. I made a good point.
I said what I said.
I said what I said when I said it.
I said what I said.
All right, well, you're wrong, so whatever. But I agree to disagree.
All right. Man, what's with this naked woman who fires a gun?
Dude, did you see that?
No.
So in the Bay in California, this woman is butt naked running across none other than the freeway. And she's just firing a gun at cars randomly, and like nothing was done about it. Imagine that. Black woman.
That's California.
naked.
That's why. No one has guns.
No one did
It has nothing to do with race, though. I guarantee that.
No one did it?
No one's armed. That's what it has something to do with. You're armed. You unarmed the public, and so you got someone that's walking on the interstate firing shots. I can't have a gun in my vehicle. I can't send this.
Why didn't they just tase her in front of a car and let her get run over?
They should have sent her straight to Jesus. What they should have done.
Straight to Jesus.
On the escalator.
Fast track.
Vomitos.
Boom.
Okay.
Was she hot at least?
No, not even.
I mean, we'd
Not
soft
even.
six.
Not even.
We'd do it.
Soft six.
Yeah, not even.
2 a.m. at the bar. Take her home and gives her shit.
Yeah. For sure. All right, so man, okay, Uncle Lazer.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's get back to talking about let's talk about your gun collection. What kind of guns you have?
Man, a lot of deer rifles. Do a lot of deer, but I just got a blackout 300 blackout.
All right,
Yeah,
AR?
AR. Yeah, AR.
Nice.
And, or it's the 300 mag, and then I got the Romeo and Juliet, the fucking thermal.
Okay.
The red dot, and you roll over to the magnification.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty sick.
Nice. You ever
Pretty
been
sick.
hog hunting?
Yeah, we shoot them out of helicopters. I got a buddy in South
Isn't that
Texas.
not fun?
It's so much goddamn.
Yeah.
fun. So much fun.
It's a lot safer too, being on the ground because those hogs,
Yeah, 'cause
they're vicious.
Yeah, we used to hunt them with dogs. I used to run around with dogs.
Pit bulls.
The
Pit bulls were bred
to do
to
that.
hunt.
You have
Yeah.
your tracker dogs, but you have those are the ones, the killers. You send them in and hold them down, and that's when you get to stab them in the side. It's pretty electrifying.
They grab their ears, pull
Grab
them
their
down.
ears and just gut them. It's incredible.
Wow.
Yeah,
Make you feel like a man, huh?
it does, dude.
How many hogs you killed like that, Laser?
Oh, more than I can count. Yeah, big old sows, and I mean, there's sometimes it's nerve wracking though because you run there at nighttime going through the water and shit. It can be a little nerve wracking, but it's fun. Yeah. I just want to do it with humans though.
Most dangerous
Pay
game.
extra for that.
Yeah, dude. Tase them in the freeway.
Be a cop.
Hey, instead of the
he should have been standing there.
hey, instead of shooting, what are they? A shooting squad or like electric chair? let's just take people out to the freeway and tase them.
Like Frogger.
Let him pay $100,000.
Yeah, fucking. Yeah, that really is what happened. It was like a game of Frogger.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they wouldn't have tased him, then he would have just continued playing Frogger, and then someone in the other lane would have run him over.
It happens.
Apparently, it's not a big deal, dude. Human life is just fucking absolutely worth
No,
shit.
Or he would
A
have
human-
caused these trucks on the highway to veer and cause a huge wreck.
A human life is precious. It is. And you should know that my life is precious. I'm not going to do stupid stuff.
Yes, your
I'm
own
not going to
decision,
run from the
too.
cops.
You make your own decisions.
I'm
about
not gonna
your own
run.
life on these things.
So when the police try to take your guns, inevitably, you're just gonna hand them over?
I'm not going to run. I got to deal with that in court, unfortunately.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about authoritarian government. They're taking everybody's guns. You just
Hey.
gonna hand them over? You ain't gonna do shit.
At that point, we have to do what we have to do. Okay? I'm not running.
So you shooting?
What I'm saying is I'm not running. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
What are you gonna do? Stand your ground?
What I'm telling you is I'm not running.
What are
So
you gonna do?
cryptic.
Exactly.
I've gotten no answers from you today.
Hey, I'm not running.
You're walking with your hands up.
I'm not going to walk. I'm not running.
Hey, Mike. Honestly, shouldn't have been.
Shouldn't have been saying. He had his hands up. Well, still put the
Shouldn't have
dog
had
on
those kind of guns.
Put the dog on him. He had his hands up. Put the dog on him.
Shoot him in the paint. All right, so man, you hear what happened in Florida? You know, in Florida, shaped like a gun. That's why I love Florida.
Man.
So in Florida, the gunshots rang out in a crowd early Sunday, killing 2 people in the city that is the home of Florida's flagship university, the University of Florida. There, police officers have been conducting crowd control in downtown Gainesville, in a commercial corridor several blocks from the University of Florida campus, when they heard gunshots. And police department said, as they posted on their social media, that the post didn't disclose how many people were shot, but said 2 of the shooting victims had later died from the injuries. And this happened earlier Sunday. So, crazy. That's why you got to be wary of your surroundings at all times. That's why I carry all the time. Try to carry all the time. You know, do you carry a gun?
I have one in my truck.
Yeah, just in your truck. You don't carry it on you?
I mean, it depends on where I'm going.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Why? I don't go to bad places.
Yeah, I mean, I try not to, but there's sometimes I get like a weird vibe, so I'll just stick it in the back.
Yeah. It's usually, I mean, you can be in a Walmart. You can be in the mall somewhere. You just never know. You know, you could be
It can
like
happen in it. You got to
in
keep that head on a swivel.
Right. You can be in a strip center somewhere. You just never know, right?
How do you like to carry, Laser? You got one in your boot?
I have a little snub nose 38 I put in my boot from time to time. But I have
Nice. Smith & Wesson?
Yeah, Smith & Wesson.
Nice.
I got a 9mm Glock.
Is that uncomfortable? Is that uncomfortable?
It can be. It can
I've
be
never carried
if
my-
if it's on the like I don't know what that called, that little bone that sticks out.
Your little femur thing. Or whatever that is.
Yeah,
Not femur.
that can hurt really there.
Your
right?
ankle bone?
It also depends on the boot. Like if you look at these the strappings are like pretty narrow, so it's hard. But I have boots that have wider openings, and that's
You can just slip it in there, yeah.
down in there. Yeah.
I used to Mexican carry for a long time.
What does that mean, Gary?
Just carry it just in your
Without
in
a
your
holster?
Just literally without a holster, just in my crotch.
That's how that shooting happened on 6th Street like a couple weekends ago.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm not an idiot.
And that was an employee, allegedly.
I know. That guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
He had one in the chamber, and he had his pistol in his pocket.
Yeah.
And reached in to grab something out of his pocket and fired a shot
Oh yeah, my uncle.
at 512 bar.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I hate 6th Street.
Yeah. Why is that?
It's just shit everywhere, homeless. There's too many fucking people. It's just like because I got to perform down there sometimes, so I have to like get out, walk, and shit like that. I'm just like, well, why would anybody party here? This shit sucks. It's too crazy.
There's crazy people down there doing street interviews, man. You just never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, dude, real compelling stuff. You know,
Hard hitting.
A lot of fights now.
Yeah, all the time. Dude.
Shootings.
It wasn't like that like five years ago.
Well, yeah. Then there was this influx of people moving in from that great state up in the west. You know what I'm saying?
Right. All right, so and you perform where downtown? Austin.
Sunset Comedy Club and Vulcan and stuff like that.
So Sunset's back open now.
Sunset's back open. Yeah, Red Band.
Okay. All right.
Red Band's a part
They
of.
never really closed, but they had a pop-up spot at Sunset Room.
Yeah,
and then they moved to Spider House Ballroom, and then there was like a brief period of time where they were opening the new place, but they didn't close because they never had a brick and mortar in the first place.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cool room though. Real good setup.
Yeah, it used to be the Parish, Mike.
The old Paris.
So how did they miss the owner? I mean, anybody talk about it? Say anything about him? Because he was a super nice guy.
Adam Hartle.
Yeah, he was a super cool.
Yeah, he
guy.
was a really good guy.
Sweetheart, dude.
Yeah,
Well, he had a
really
heart
was.
condition.
Oh, did he
and yeah, and that's how he. That's what happened. He had a heart. I didn't even know this until after the fact, but he wasn't supposed to be drinking, and he was having a good time, a little bit too good of a time.
Yeah.
You know.
You gotta check that. You gotta check your blood pressure. That's what I learned the hard way.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah.
That happened to you too.
Yeah, I learned the
Dude,
hard way.
we were almost the same thing. We were at Bender, that bar right there.
Yeah.
And it was us three. We're hanging out, having a beer or something, whatever. And he's like, I'm just not feeling too good. I'm gonna go home. Fucking 10 minutes later, I'm sitting there with him, and we see an ambulance and fucking shit pull up, and we're like, oh, what if that was Cargill?
Oh shit.
And then it was him, and I booked it across the parking lot because I'm like, this fucking motherfucker better not go dying on me. And of course, Zach's just like moseying, like, oh, didn't give a fuck at all.
What did
If he dies, he dies.
You had a heart attack?
No, so what happened was I blew the main artery that goes from my I guess heart to the stomach. I blew that artery and sliced a hole in that artery and blood was gushing out. So the pain I was feeling was the blood coming out of the artery.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So, and the blood pressure was like 200 over 100. It was like really,
Oh dude, you're a fucking.
it was crazy. It was wild.
Yeah, even more important that you carry a gun because you ain't fighting nobody.
No, it was actually pretty funny because I was sitting there in the car, right, and they're checking my blood pressure, and the guy goes, "Hey, I know this is probably not the time to say this, but I like all the stuff you're doing with the gun stuff."
As you're damn near dying, yeah, I'm a huge fan.
I was like, "Yeah, that's cool. Can you just pull me out of this car so we can get to the hospital, please?"
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Yeah, but that happens. Yeah, you just got to take care of yourself.
So you called 911 from your car.
From my vehicle.
What
Yeah,
were you thinking? But right before you called 911.
well, because I was thinking, I said, okay, so if I drive over to the hospital, which I'm like, we're just 1 block away from the hospital. It's right here.
Yeah.
So I said, if I drive over, they're gonna sit me in the waiting room, and I could freaking die in the waiting room. So it's like, this pain I'm feeling is in a weird spot.
It's not normal.
And I was like, this is not normal. Now I'm gonna call 911. That way I can go into an ambulance and go straight to the back.
Yeah.
It's purely logistical. It wasn't like,
I actually thought about
I'm fucking dying. No, 911.
Yeah, it was I actually thought about this. It was a process of elimination. I'm thinking about this in my head. It's like, okay, how should I handle this situation? And that's how it's weird because that's how I think about a lot of things. Okay, all right, there's some bad shit happening right now. How can we handle this? How do we get through this situation? Okay.
What were you feeling like in your heart? Were you thinking, "Oh shit, I'm gonna die"? Was
No,
your
the
light
heart.
flashing before
The heart
your
wasn't
eyes?
bad. It was just like the pain that I was
was
feeling.
unbearable.
The pain was bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I knew something was wrong, and it was like too low to be the heart, too high to be the stomach. So it's like it's just weird. It just wasn't right.
Yeah, I thought I was dying the other night too.
What happened?
After partying all night.
Yeah.
I thought I got into some fentanyl. Or something.
Dude, you've called me
turned
probably like 7 times and said that.
Yeah, but I thought it was, but I had like stuff in my house that I knew was good. I did that and I was fine. But then
You can get these like test strips and you can test stuff.
Yeah, and then but the next morning I woke up and I was throwing up blood and shit, and I was like, oh fuck, I gotta go to the emergency room. So I went to the emergency room and they're like, yo, no, it's none of that. It's all the street tacos you've been eating that fucking gave me a stomach ulcer.
All right,
Did
so
you have Crohn's too?
Yeah, I have Crohn's too. Yeah.
Hey, you just got back from doing a music video with Black Rifle, right?
Yeah.
How was that?
Really good. Really,
What was it?
So like that song Jolene. Well, Matt Best he does parody music, so he's got a song called Jody. And it's like Jody, and Jody's like a guy that sleeps with your wife while you're overseas, right?
Oh yeah.
So he wanted me. He's like, I need a real scumbag for the character. So he called me. I was first on his list. So I show up.
Were you in the military?
I was not in the military.
Okay.
That's what I was. I worked in the oil field my entire.
That's kind of messed up.
But like, I show up and I'm just in a wife beater. I got all these neck tattoos and shit, and it's like his wife, and I'm like, it was cool, man. It was a cool experience.
You did with Megatron,
So
right?
you were Jody.
I was Jody. Oh yeah. I'm beating the brakes off of that. Yeah. And there's a scene where like his picture is like looking at us in the bed, and she like turns it as we start to make love, and it's talking and doing the music, like singing the music. It's gonna drop in like 2 or 3 weeks. It's gonna be fucking. It's gonna be fire.
Man.
You been to have you shot guns out at their ranch out there?
Yeah. I flipped a fucking side by side out there. One of those ones they have like with the safety cages and shit. They have a dirt track where you take jumps and shit. And he's like, "Yo, get in it." But like like when you fishtail, you like kind of turn into the turn. You know what I'm saying? Well, in those like road racer things, it ain't like that. You got to stay in them. And so I would brake, like I would let off the gas and get back into it, and those tires catch traction. I rolled it twice, broke the radiator, spewing radiator fluid everywhere. I was like, damn. I thought like I wasn't even worried about myself. I was like, I'm gonna have to sell my truck, get this man a new radiator for his fucking side.
Dude, they make so much
and he
money.
walked into me and goes, nah, man, don't worry about it. I wanted a rear mounted one anyways. And I'm like, God, dude, rich people problems must be great.
I know, right?
Hell.
Well, they've got so many guns out there, and they've got a pretty badass range. And I shot that fucking that Alien Crash Landing commercial with them and fucking Brent Pella out there.
Yeah.
And we did a bunch of cool shit at the range.
I've been in his gun vault like a time or two, and it's bigger than a Cabela's. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's. I've never seen so many firearms in my entire life. Like that boy's taking that amendment to like the extra. I mean, it's badass.
Nice.
There's shit in there like there. I don't even want to put out what's in there, but it's an armory. I mean, it's like
He's got some tax stamp items.
He's got gold painted shit in it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got next.
You talking about Matt or fucking?
Yeah, Matt. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's cool. And
So let's go back to when you were filming the video.
Yeah.
So did you how was the wife? She's good looking?
Yeah, so the wife is actually
She's good looking?
Yeah, she's one of my chicks that I've kind of done. We've hung out in the past and shit. So, but I know she models and does that OnlyFans shit.
Oh,
So
really?
I was like, and I knew she'd be good on camera, like wouldn't be off and be down for whatever. So I had her come out. And I got a picture. She's like eating a banana or deep throating a banana.
I think I saw some of this on your
I
story.
can show you if you like. It's pretty hilarious. Yeah,
Mike, she's that girl that I did some of those stream reviews with. She's
Showed her tits to the cop.
Yeah,
the girl that showed her tits to the cop.
This is someone
That's
that's
her.
acting as Matt Best's.
Yeah, acting. Because he goes. Yeah, he goes.
I'm talking about the actual.
Why is it actually fucking his wife?
No, because he literally goes, "Hey man, I love you, but I'm not gonna have you dry hump my wife on music video. You're gonna have to bring a girl." And I was like, "Yeah, no, for sure."
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's where I'm trying to go with this.
Yeah, no. That would be kind of. I don't even know if I could.
That'd be weird, yeah.
Because he was like on set, that'd be fucking strange. But
That's no fun. Let's change
Adam
the subject.
22 shit.
Dude, yeah, I know, right? Dude, I think we need to shoot something at. Do we have a new range yet?
We're almost there.
Are we gonna have an outdoor one?
Yeah. Yes.
Once we get an outdoor range, we got to shoot some like Rambo style shit.
I love it.
That'd be awesome.
I'm a phenomenal shit.
Do like a Central Texas Gunworks fucking
Where do you
commercial.
shoot? Where do you go to range out here? What
So
range
we had our own range, but we're having like issues there. The neighbors are like suing us and stuff like that. So we're trying to work that stuff out in court.
Everybody suing you, hell.
Dude, it's crazy.
It really is. It
It's
really
an
does.
ongoing chore. I'm telling you right now. So we're having to go to a different range right now. So hopefully we'll work through all those different problems and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, but I miss the place. I like it because in this heat, that range is actually the trees are so tall and it's natural shade from the trees. Yeah, so it actually is great.
And I like shooting outside better than inside.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
just something about it.
Oh yeah,
Something about it.
Yeah. Hey, so Austin, is there a serial killer in Austin? What do you think?
I wouldn't call it a serial killer.
All right, let's back up a little bit. So, are people drugging people in Austin at bars?
Oh, 100%. I can several. That's why I don't go to 6th Street that much anymore. There's been several occasions where I have 1 or 2 beers and I am obliterated.
Really?
To the point of I'm like this. There's something in this.
You think it's a bartender?
And it's hard to say.
Let's get down to the nitty gritty.
Well, because the thing about it is, in my line of work, after my shows, I have a lot of people come up to me and they want to take pictures. Oh, hey, can I buy you a shot? Blah, blah, blah. Beer, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know if it's the bartenders or if maybe it's a fan that wants to, just rail me out in the back of my, in the back of my pickup truck. I don't know. But whatever. Like a
young man.
A young man or young woman, whatever.
Right.
We don't discriminate. This is Austin, Texas, 2023. You know what I'm saying? I mean...
So Mike.
Give love a chance, my guy. All right. But... but I will say yes, and it's a very distinct feeling, and because I've done it to myself on accident, so I know what it feels like when it's not just you're drunk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. So, and then what about Rainy Street? So, is there? Because some people say, hey, there's a serial killer.
But it hasn't died down and stopped though. It hasn't been a lot of.
I don't know.
Are you a detective? Where's the killer, dude?
I honestly believe it's Gary Faust. I've always thought that. But no, I mean, I don't know if you could call. I mean, a couple people, died or took a piss and got hit in the head or something. Yeah, maybe.
But it's kind of weird though, that people, that area that's dark or whatever, out of all the areas that we have in this town, only that spot right there, a certain group of people end up drowning allegedly in that spot.
Is there any in the report? Is there any blunt force trauma to the head or anything like that?
In one of them, there was
one, right? So then that leads. Yeah, but that leads you. That's a one-off. So I wouldn't call that a serial killing. Wasn't done in the same fashion. Now that all their heads were bashed in, all right, there's a pattern here, right? So
I know there's stuff that the police are not telling us.
I think so too.
Well,
I think that's a lot of stuff.
I looked into all that. I mean, we kind of put this to bed. I don't think. Hey, make sure your dog eats all the cables, please. We kind of put all this to bed though because there's no real evidence that connects all these. Like those 2 bodies they recently found were both fentanyl overdoses. So that was totally irrelevant. I think it's just people, it's mad hysteria.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean,
you don't think the police are hiding something from us?
We got to give people something to believe in. A good Netflix special. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people, they thrive on that. So
yeah.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't call it a serial killer, but homeless problem.
Yeah.
Call it that.
Yeah.
Let's say what it really is here.
Is it a homeless problem or a drug problem?
It's probably a little bit of both, to be honest.
Because they're definitely high.
Oh, yeah.
Strung out, seriously.
And they're wearing pit vipers and shit now, too. It's really
what is
aggressive.
That?
Like the fucking sunglasses, pit vipers, they're wearing, with the real macho man, Randy Savage looking ones. The homeless guy the other day, was wearing one. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Styling and profiling, dude.
Yeah. I remember 5 years ago, man, this town was great. 5 years ago, I can take my dog to, the doggy park, go walk the trails and stuff like that. Go down to the pool, and actually swim with the dogs.
Yeah.
Lake and stuff like that. Man, I can't do that now. I don't know what the dog's gonna get into. Well, they're gonna sniff around and actually bite into.
Yeah. No, I get that. I get
syringes.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff.
It's pretty crazy.
I've never seen so much human shit on a sidewalk.
Really?
In my life, dude. I mean, there was homeless. I mean, I grew up in the country, so we didn't really see a lot of homeless people. And then I lived out in San Marcos for a long time. You'd have 1 or 2 homeless people walking around the square, but out here, dude, it's just I've never seen anything.
Yeah, they're starting to shit everywhere.
There was a human turd on the side of 6th Street the other day when I was walking.
Well, that's not uncommon now.
No, it's
really? Unfortunately,
it's not. It's everywhere, dude.
Dude, you know they made an app in San Francisco that tracked where you could submit a location of where a human being, there was human feces. You could submit a claim of where a turd was, and the app
we should do that in
was
Austin.
Removed after 11 days because the entire city
was full of shit.
Basically there was a GPS ping on every single block.
Oh my Lord.
Like San Francisco has a legitimate problem with human feces. I'm not exaggerating this actually. It actually is a very serious issue they have.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We should tase them and put them on the highway.
I'm good with that.
As long as they comply.
Yeah, they shouldn't have been pet shitting there, dude. You know what I mean?
Hey. No means no. All right, so Uncle Lazer, tell us about your podcast. You have a podcast, right?
Yeah, it's called My Drunk Uncle's Podcast. It's sometimes Gary's on, sometimes my buddy Bobby's on. I kind of have some interchangeable co-hosts, and then we just do comics, musicians, just people in the industry, stuff like that.
What's some crazy stuff that's happened to you when you've been on stage?
On stage?
On stage.
Oh, man. There was a claim when I was on Kill Tony one time. I took out my wallet to pay Tony for the Super Bowl bet that I lost to him. When I reached in my wallet, a receipt fell out, right? But there was
I remember this.
montage on the internet saying that I dropped my bag of cocaine on live YouTube TV. And I'm like, guys, relax, you know?
You would never be that.
And probably the craziest shit.
If you did.
The craziest shit at like one of my shows, I was at the Creek in the Cave performing, and this lady was in the front row, and she was drunk, and she was squawking. Like, they had told her if she didn't be quiet, they were going to ask her to leave several times. I had a piece of gum when I walked on stage. I was chewing, and she said something about, let me have that piece of gum, and I just spit it, and she caught it in her mouth.
Oh.
I took her home later. It was incredible.
Hey, you know, we were at Vulcan one time after Kill Tony, and Lazer gets off. We're on the second floor by the bar. We're waiting to go grab a drink or whatever. We're bullshitting or whatever. And this girl comes up. And this is not the only time that this happened when I was with you. This girl comes up and she goes, "You're so sexy," talking to Lazer. "You're so sexy," yada, yada, yada. And her husband was like fucking 3 or 4 feet behind her. And she goes, "If I wasn't married to him, I'd be fucking you." And the dude was like, "Ha, yeah."
Yeah.
I was like, what?
And I've been asked a lot. Like, I guess I have a face for cuckolding because I get asked to cuckold a lot more than a normal person.
Yeah, you
Hold on. What is that called?
Cuckolding. I'll give you. It's when one fucks one's wife while one watches.
Okay.
And then look, it sounds strange. Extremely profitable. Extremely.
Tell them the story about how you made that money that one time.
Oh fuck! I really this ties into the Rainy Street Wrangler, so it's a pretty good story. So I was at my house on a Saturday. I had like a rare Saturday off, and I don't smoke a lot of weed, but when I do like a rest and relaxation, I'll just smoke some weed and watch The Sopranos on HBO. It's kind of my downtime shit. So I'm like pretty stoned, and that little midnight ballerina calls me up out of the blue, and she didn't even say hi or hello. She goes, "Yo, would you come to BK's and fuck me for $2,500 in front of this guy while he jerks off?" And I was like, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Is he gonna like touch me and shit?" She goes, "No." And I was like, "All right, well, let me shower." You know what I'm saying? So I get in my car and my truck, and I'm driving over there, and as I'm
Cleanliness is next to godliness.
yeah, you know, and yeah, you gotta be prepared now. I'm a show pony, and I drive over yonder, and I'm starting to think, I'm like, what the fuck am I really walking into? So she like comes outside and to let me in, and I go, "Hey, on a real note, what's going on here?" And she's like, "Look," she goes, "I'm gonna be honest with you. He's wearing his wife's thong, and it's gonna be strange."
Wait, what?
Yeah. And I'm like, fuck, I done drove this far. Well, let's just go see what it is. You know, I can always leave.
Now,
so.
if you can perform on these conditions, I'm impressed.
Oh, just wait. So in my mind, what's going through my mind, I'm legitimately thinking this is probably some old decrepit man, 70s, just living out some sexual fantasy or something that he didn't get to do when he was younger. So
Usually not.
Well, I was completely wrong.
Usually not.
The dude answered the door, and he's 6'7", 285
Looking like
pounds.
Superman.
He's a fucking bear. And if this shit goes south, I'm not going to be able to take this big motherfucker down. You know what I'm saying?
It's usually the case. It usually look like Superman.
He only talks in grunts. Like shit like that. And I'm like, this is the Rainy Street Wrangler. This is the Rainy Street Wrangler. I was like, I'm dying tonight. You know what I'm saying? And I walk in there and I see all the furniture in the apartment is got the stickers on it from IKEA. So after he murders us, he's gonna take that shit back and get his deposit back. So now I'm like, I'm really freaking out. But she hands me $2,500. And I didn't think I'd get hard in this situation, in this circumstances, but she hands me, now I'm bought and paid for. So now I got to show up. So she drinks like half a beer, spits it in his face, punches him, hits him, calls him like a piece of shit that his dick's worthless, and she starts blowing me, and I'm instantly aroused. Now I'm here. I'm in it. But he's sitting on a chair.
If it wasn't for that, it would have been hard.
Yeah.
Hard to get hard.
Yeah, hard to get hard. Yeah. Her physically abusing him just got me going. Something about that trauma I come from. But he's sitting in a chair, and we're doing it, and I have to kind of pinky blinder this guy out, because if I look his direction, he instantly gets soft again. It's weird. It's so weird. He's in his wife's tongue, playing around with his little ding-a-ling, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, what?
Did his wife know about this?
No, absolutely not. There's no way she could have. right? No one's gonna be cool with that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, I don't know. I don't know that for a fact. But he keeps trying to move around and get up. And at one point, I was like, yo, sit down, man. You're making me nervous, man. He goes, hey, man, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to put it on some cuckolding music. And I didn't know there was a Spotify playlist for cuckolding music, but there is, dude.
Excuse me, let me Google.
Yeah, so I finished about...
You might have a new customer over here.
What's going on right now?
About 25 minutes in, I finished up. She went and got a towel. She's a real woman. And she goes, hey, if you want to stick around, I'm gonna piss on him for $7,000 here in about 30 minutes. And I go, nah, I'm going to go home and watch The Sopranos, but thanks for having me. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, you called me before that happened.
I told you it was about to happen.
Dude, yeah, so he calls me. We're shooting a documentary on Sunset Strip. He calls me and he goes...
No, it's a big thing.
Yeah,
he goes, hey, dude, I got to tell you this real quick. And I'm like, hold on a second. Let me get the cameras rolling. So we actually have the recording of the phone call.
Please. I want to put
Nick gets the camera and you were basically like... You're like, dude, I don't know if I can do this, man. It's fucking weird. He explains what's going on, and I said, hey, you got it, man. You got it. He's like, yeah, you're right. What am I talking about? Of course I do. Calls me like 40 minutes later, and he's like, the boy is back.
Dude. Yeah, I've done some weird shit in my life. Mike, I've done some weird shit in my life, buddy. But hey, you know, great hair.
Hey, that's an understatement, man.
If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger.
I've been in some situations where I was like, I'm not making it out of these. But somehow I do, so we just keep on trucking. But see, I don't run from the police.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
Wow.
That's why you're still here.
You gotta comply.
You comply.
Comply.
Yeah, you did what
they say. Stop, you stop.
I stop.
Hands up, you hands up.
So if that guy told you to stop and put your hands up, you would have complied.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, well,
See, there you
I'll
go.
never get that visual of him just beating off in his wife's thong. Well, that is something that's gonna scar me for the rest of my life.
Are you into that now?
No, I just have a face for it. I guess I get asked all the time.
You're a therapist because of that.
Probably.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't believe in therapy though.
No, neither do I.
You know what I'm saying? I don't need to talk to someone about my problems. I hold that shit in like
Take
my
it to the
daddy
stage.
did. Well, yeah, I take it to the stage or hold it in like my daddy didn't die at 45. You know what I'm saying? Massive heart attack. Who gives a shit? Where men don't cry.
Never cried in my life.
Never cried in my life, dude.
I don't have tear ducts.
Except during Private Ryan, I cried.
You need to be out of here by 5:15, right?
Yeah, what time
It's
is it?
5:19.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so tell us about your podcast one more time.
Yeah,
Name of the podcast.
My Drunk Uncle's podcast. You find on my YouTube channel, Uncle Lazer. We put out an episode every week, or maybe sometimes two, but it's just guys in the scene, comics. It's really everyone. We just drink on it and get drunk while we're talking about it. Just talk about life, bullshit, and just guys being bros and chicks being dudes. You know what I'm saying? So
Nice.
yeah, it's fun, man. Just come on one time.
Awesome. All right, man. I'll tell you what. I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate that, Uncle Lazer. Definitely check out his podcast. Funny guy, comedian here in Austin, Texas. Where are you from originally?
I'm from a small village about 2 hours south of Houston. And when I say village, I mean like we shit outside. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
But I'm touring all around the United States. Y'all look at my website and see all my dates and shit. So
Oh,
you should try to come out to a show too, man. I know you don't like going to 6th Street either, but
nah, I don't like it, but I'll try
have to venture out.
I'll come to your show.
yeah. I got one. I got that one next Saturday at Sunset. It's punchlines at the poles. There'll be strippers on poles, pole dancing while we're up.
Oh, I saw a
and I
flyer
don't
for
know
that.
what to expect because
Nice.
if they're on stage while I'm performing, I'm not going to tell any jokes. I'm just going to
Right.
commentate on them
Right.
the entire time.
Especially if they fall.
Yeah.
All right, man. I tell you what. Thank you, Uncle Lazer. Really appreciate that. As always, more guns equals less crime. You go out there and you buy yourself a gun. Wow. You've been listening to Come and Talk It with Michael Cargill. Hey, it's really important that you help us right now. We're in a fight for our life. So please share, subscribe, like, Come and Talk It.